Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Conversations with Chan. Today, I have the mogul, okay, the show host, the marketing guru. She is amazing. Like, listen, y'all need to be tuned into the round table and y'all will see exactly what I'm talking about. Miss Sharifah Hardie. Hey, girl.
Hey
How
girl,
you?
thank you for having me on the show. It's so different, because you've been so supportive of me. You've been to the Roundtable Talk Show several times. We sat on a panel together about race relations in America. Every time I look at my inbox and I get a new notification for the Roundtable Talk Show, and I scroll down to my favorite spot where it says referred by, and it's always Chandra Gore. Chandra Gore. I'm like, go girl, you look out for people, and that is rare today. It is. So thank you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome because like your dedication to a daily show, like girl, that is a lot of dedication because I'll look at it, you like, oh, it's 8 o'clock every morning. And I'm like, wait a minute. You get up, you do what's necessary. I'm like, wow, you do this every single day. I like to sleep in.
Hmm.
And I don't do the same thing every day. I don't. Like I would have been late to my own show sometimes. The show wouldn't have never happened because my dedication is not your level of dedication. Like you are committed to creating your content and being on your and being with your show. And you have the greatest conversations. I love it, but you are so dedicated.
But I asked myself this question. I thank you for that compliment. I receive it. But do I want to work for someone 8 hours a day, or do I want to work for myself and get up and do that 1 hour? Because I always figure, at least if I get up, get the show done, that's my job for that day, and then I can do whatever else I have to do. But one time over the last week, because it's been 3 months, I was basically late for the show, and it was funny to me, but I had planned in the 15 minutes prior to the show, so I have all the guests show up at 7:45. The show starts at 8. So this day I showed up at 7:51, and the guests were emailing me and calling me like, I'm here, I don't know where you are, is something supposed to happen? And I got there at 10:51. I'm like, I'm here, let's go, let's get this show on the road, because I had hit snooze one too many times.
The show wouldn't have happened that day because I would have been snooze and sleep. Okay, like I. And this is what I'm saying. People have gotten into the routine of seeing you. Like I'll catch the show too. On sometimes I'm watching. I'm like, wait a minute. I know this show come on at a certain time. I'm about to
Mhm.
see what they talking about today. Even when I'm not on it, I like to go back. If I miss it, I'll go back and watch the replay just so I can see. And it's something that I know is always gonna be there.
Mhm.
And that consistency alone is
Mhm.
amazing. But y'all don't know this. This is not just what she does. Like this
Mhm.
is you do so much more.
Mhm.
You want to tell everybody where you started from?
I started from the bottom. Now I'm on top. No,
There you go.
no, but this is just a part of my journey. I built my first website in 1994. I had my daughter at 18, and she was just the most precious little bundle I had ever seen. And I didn't want to miss any moments in her life, her first words, her first steps. And I felt like if someone's job could be to take care of a child, like in daycare or something like that, then why could it be my job to take care of my child? And so I tried to figure out some way. And I knew back then the only way to make money and to work from home was the internet. So I built my website. And then once I built my website, people said, Sharifah, you built your website, build me a website. So I
Hmm.
did. And then I started marketing my website online, got to Google's position one, page one, and people were like, market my website. And so I started marketing. People had so many questions that in 2009, I launched my very first show, which was Ask Sharifah Radio. And it was a blog talk radio show. And I interviewed business owners, but I also answered a lot of the questions. And it made it easier for me from a business perspective, because when people called and they had a question, I would say, you know what? I think I'm going to discuss that on tomorrow's show. And then I would discuss it for everyone. And since then, I've done several shows. The Ask Sharifah videocast, which is also one of the shows that I currently do, is a one-on-one interview, which gives people more time, because the Roundtable Talk Show is a lot of fun, but because it's 5 guests on the show, everyone doesn't have a lot of time. So with Ask Sharifah videocast, this was my first video show, because Blog Talk Radio is easy. I tell people I could do that in my pajamas, because they kept saying, you have to do more, you have to do video. And I'm like, do you know how much effort and energy it takes to do video? Like, you got to be camera ready all the time. Yes. So, but I just enjoy it. So I have Ask Sharifah videocast and podcast. I have the Roundtable Talk Show. I just released my book, Signs You Might Be an Entrepreneur, How to Discover the Entrepreneur in You, which was my baby. I was so passionate about that, because too often I hear people say, I'm an entrepreneur because I don't like to work. I'm an entrepreneur because I hate my boss. I'm an entrepreneur because I don't like the commute. And I go, that's not really what makes an entrepreneur. No. So I wanted to come up with ways and information to show people. And then I just do a lot as far as helping and service and marketing, you know, as a business consultant, answering a lot of questions that new entrepreneurs and new business owners have when they're just starting out.
I love seeing. You left something out, ma'am. Didn't you run for office?
What I leave out?
You ran for office.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I just be doing so much. I ran for Long Beach City Council in the March 3rd primary election, and that was a lot of fun. I got to meet so many different people, and it just started me on a whole new journey. And it's actually what was the motivation for the Roundtable Talk Show, because I say they wouldn't give me city council, so I took the Roundtable. But I am going to have a platform to have a voice and to talk to other people about what's going on in the world. And so I really just want to talk. I've been also preaching. I became an ordained minister in 2004, and I don't really do anything with that. But because of the race relations in America, and especially here in Long Beach, California, the church started having panels with different people in the city. And so they invited me to speak. So I'm speaking on panels with the deputy chief of Long Beach, who's second only to the chief of police. And then I was so honored this past Sunday, we had on the panel Doug Hubbard, who is the prosecutor for the city of Long Beach. So we finished, and he said to me, he enjoyed my speech, but he said, I've never met you, but I know your name. And I was like, hello. You know, I was like, I've never been in trouble, but when the prosecutor knows your name, you're doing something right, you know?
And that's a beautiful thing. Yes, your name better ring through them halls. They better know who's coming through there.
Yeah.
I think that is, like, I can't stop smiling, because it's like, you've done so much, and there's so much more to do, and you're like, we're going to tackle it. We're going to do what's necessary. And you put together these panels. These panels have so many people from different backgrounds on them. It's amazing. You are a connector of community. You are that, and especially, you're in Long Beach, and a lot of people are like, well, everybody thinks California is so laid back and relaxed, but there's real issues everywhere. But you are trying to make a change with that, and I'm like, because it's like, I have so many questions for you, by the way. I'm trying not to ask them all, but I want to ask them all.
I have nothing but time. I'm here for you, Chandra. Whatever I can answer in any form or fashion, please feel free. Long Beach, we are chill. We are very chill. But the thing that we will fight for is our peace. Like, I love the quiet, so when there's too much going on, I have to speak up and say, you know what, that's the wrong direction to go in. Let's focus on peace.
And that's what really gets me, because everybody's like, well, what inspired you to run? What was the spark that made you want to put your hat in the ring to run for city council?
Well, the first thing was a dear friend of mine, Mrs. Sally Martin, who I love to death. Mrs. Martin will be 99 years old this December, and her wisdom. And so she knows that I focus on businesses. I took a company public in 2016, an initial public offering, IPO, and we raised about $6 million for that company. So I was doing a lot of different things, and she came to me and she said, Sharifah, I want you to do for Long Beach what you do for businesses. And I had no idea about the political arena. And I looked into it and I researched it. And I was like, yes, this is something that I want to do. The other reason that I wanted to do it is because I first moved to Long Beach in 2003, but I moved to another district. And that district was a little quieter, a little cleaner, a little different. The district I am now, that I moved to in 2017, is closer to downtown Long Beach. And I tell people I have never in my life seen so much drama in the LBC as I have in District 6 of Long Beach. It's,
I just thought about Snoop's voice.
yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes, that's what I tell people. But it's right here. Okay, it's this section of Long Beach. It's always, always, always something going on. The streets are dirtier. And then I just so happen my house is right next to empty lot. And so I will come outside and there are people in tents next to my house. And I'm like,
I'm like, is it a campground? Oh,
no, it's the homeless. So they don't have anywhere to go. So wherever they can find, wherever they decide to go, they'll set up a tent they'll set up a tent on the street corner, on the sidewalk, and so this is an empty tent. They don't see people parking here, people doing anything. So they're like, hey, that looks like a good place to crash. And I'm like, you cannot live here, so I'm like,
this is not we can't have these neighbors. This is not an address, okay?
Right. So I was like, I have to do something. This, because I've been laid off 8 times. So the whole aspect of poverty, that's my war. I tell everybody it's the war on poverty, loss of job. Most Americans these days are one paycheck away from being homeless.
Hello.
So that's what I said. I have to do something. And that's why I decided to run for Long Beach City Council.
I absolutely, because it takes a level of bravery and a little touch of crazy. Because you think about it, when you run for public office, everybody is in your business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody is wanting to know everything about you and what's going on and all stuff like that. But you're able to, you're so brave to do that. And to me, it's like, I can have my business on Front Street because somebody will say the wrong thing, because people real gangsters behind these computers and stuff. And I could only imagine the trolls who came out, because you got a level of patience, just was saying, because
No, I don't think I appreciate that and I receive that, but I don't think it's my patience. It's that to me, I find life so humorous. Like, life is funny to me. People are funny to me. And I don't worry about the keyboard haters or people who have something to say. I love the fact that you can't control me. Right. I don't have a team. Even the team that I had, I would say certain things and they would contact me or call me and say, Sharifah, you can't say that. And I would say, I can say whatever it is that I want to say. I really can. You're not going to silence me. And there was one example in particular where we did a panel, and the another lady, she was focused only on the Cambodian people in Long Beach. And so when she was talking, we were able to ask questions. So my question to her was, why are you only focused on the Cambodians? Everything you talk about is Cambodians, 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 Cambodians. And what about the other races? There are Black people, there are white people, there are Hispanic people, there's a whole mix of people. Long Beach is known for our diversity. Why focus on this race? And it happened to be February at the time. So she said, well, I'm just proud of my race. Just like you're proud of your Happy Black History Month. And I was like, did she just,
ma'am, I want all the smoke.
Did she just say that? And my face is like that. And so I shared it on social media. And this Black woman told me I was a racist, because she told me I was a racist and that I was an angry Black woman. And I couldn't believe it because of my statement. And I initiated the statement with her. And so when someone else saw it, another one of the council people, they said to me, they said, Sharifah, we really loved that interview. And I said, I got a lot of flack for that. She was like, you know what? You make for good television. She said, I shared it with my mom, with my boyfriend, my friend. Like, I shared it with everybody. And from that moment on, that was like the best compliment she could have given me, is because I make for good television. At the end of the day, That's what people want. They want someone who's real, who's raw, who's authentic, you know, who isn't afraid to say what they have to say. So even now, if you go to Google and you look at my video that I did promoting me as a candidate, I say some people consider me an angry Black woman, but I feel that more people should be angry about the lack of jobs. More people should be angry at all the crime. More people should be angry at the homelessness. So if that's how you feel, I'm okay with that.
I'm mad that you listen. I love the myth of the angry Black woman because for me, it's like I'm passionate. So you can call it angry, call it whatever you want, but at the same time, I'm doing what's necessary. But what really gets me, and because we were on that panel, and because I was gonna be so reserved and everything, but when you said straight out the gate, I was like, "Ooh, hat off! I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna just go."
Yes.
It's like all I needed was that. Okay, this is what we doing. Boom. Say less. I got it. Because when you, I thought I was like, "Ooh." See, like when you said when she thought that there was gonna be other people of other races, not just 4 Black women, I almost fell out my chair. But I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm ready."
Yes.
It was necessary. And I was like, oh, this was so great.
Yes. But you know what the thing about it is? I really believe that I'm like those memes, right? That says, we're not our grandparents. I'm not my grandparents. And you know what the rest of that line is? Like, I'm free. I'm free in America. The one thing you can't do is take away my freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want, and that's what's making people mad, because you can't shut me up, especially not on my shows. How you gonna tell me what to say on my show?
You can't.
So I love to come out with that approach, and I kind of start off conversations now and let people know other people view me as an angry Black woman. Just know that if Sharifah Hardie shows up, it's not going. If I have to show up, just like with your kids, if you tell your kids, if I have to come down to that school, y'all not gonna like it, right? If mama got to show up, you're not gonna be happy.
I am laughing because my kids actually said it to the teacher, like, I don't think you want my mom to come in, so I think you should just call her, because if she comes in here, it's true. Like, we have to, even with the climate that's right now, I think we're actually showing exactly what we meant by saying we are not our grandparents, because there was a level of decorum that was unnecessary back then, because people were the hate was so, they were bold with it. They were just like, you threw a bottle, like pouring acid in a pool with Black children in it. Like, they were real. Like, now they're more covert, and we calling them out on it. So it's like, we've evolved.
Yes.
And we ready. So I love the fact that you speak up, you speak your mind, and you're unapologetically you.
Yes.
And can't nobody tell me not. Like,
you know why though, Chandra? Because this is the truth, and I say it without all ego. I've been divorced twice. I'm not married now. Every bill I have, I pay. So if you want to vote on my life or what I can do or what I want to say, pick a bill. I don't care, whatever bill you want to pick. You want 2 votes on my life, pay 2 bills. But other than that, I'm going to say whatever it is that I want to say.
Yo. Okay, I thought I was the only person that said that.
No, that's in real life.
I said the same thing. I said the only person I'm going to argue with is the person I wake up next to. What I look like arguing with you when you don't matter? When I go to bed at night, I'm not cuddling up next to you. So why am I arguing with you? Right. Why am I even having this discussion? Because you don't really matter.
Right.
And I think people's like, but you got to say what you need to say. No, because it don't really matter to me, because I could block you and keep it moving and it doesn't matter. And I love it. See, we are very much so alike.
But see, the thing is, I love to talk, though. That's why you have to have balance, because I spend a lot of time, like you said, every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, every day, weekdays, talking to 5 guests, speaking with 5 guests. That's 25 people I speak to in a week, 100 people that I speak to as guests on my show in a week. So I love to sit down and have a conversation, have a open dialogue. I have another show that I'm getting ready to launch on Wednesday called Face to Face. And this show is specifically dedicated towards race relations, the politics, the issues going on in America, because sometimes I feel that when people come on the roundtable talk show, they only want to speak about their business. They don't want to get into politics. Very, very, and I never feel like I want to force someone to get out of their element. I want them to stay in their lane if that's the lane that they want to be in. But with Face to Face, this is what we're gonna sit down face to face. I'm gonna talk to you, you're gonna talk to me, and it's gonna have 5 guests, just like the round table, but it's specifically about making this world, making America a better place. So I'm not always angry, but if you get me to that point, don't think that I'm not going to say what I have to say, because I'm free. I'm not a slave, and I'm self-employed. You know what I mean? You can't fire me. There's nobody who can take anything away from me, and I'm not afraid of anything. You know, the only man I fear is God. So I love to help, but I do it in my Sharifah way, and that's what I'm known for.
I just, because I'm laughing because this face-to-face show, this is gonna be good.
Oh, is this one gonna be hot? I think if you're available on Wednesday, when I came up with the show, I was like, I gotta talk to Chandra.
What time on Wednesday? Hold on, what time on Wednesday?
10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 Eastern.
So okay, I can do that because I'll be up by then.
Yes, it's later, not earlier. Yes. I had to fit it in to do 2 shows in a day, but this one is in your face. Like, this is what we came to do. Because my co-host, a white guy, I met him on the Roundtable Talk Show, and he was just so interesting. And so we was like, we got to talk about race. So I'm like, I'm going to bring some more people, and we're going to discuss face to face what's going on in the world.
I'm here for that, because that's going to be good.
Yes.
I love a good, I love a good conversation that, push the boundaries, because I'm not PC, and I have found myself choosing not to be. Because if I can't be I have to be authentic at all times. This is me all the time. Mm-hmm. You're never gonna see nothing different. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If I'm quiet, it's because like I don't even want to be bothered. But this is gonna be good. I'm like,
but it is, because like my co-host Paul, he loves to debate, and so he was on the show twice, and every time he was talking, he was like, oh, I'm getting ready for a debate. I'm like, Paul, we don't debate on the round table. We have round table discussions. It's a discussion, Paul. Paul was like, I want to debate. And I'm like, I'm gonna make a show just so you can debate, Paul. He looks like Mel Gibson, right? Kind of. So it's like, yes, let's debate.
I love it. Like, I think that this new show is like, you're building, like I told you the other day, you are a mogul, because there's so many different facets that you have your hands in that, a lot of people can't do that. You have books, you have, multimedia outlets, and it's like, there's so much information that can be gleaned from you and how you do things. You're setting a blueprint in a way for other people to see, like, this can be done. It's not no such thing as balance, but it can be managed. Mm-hmm. And I love it. Like, can't nobody tell, like, listen, there's no way, for you not to take off and be on a global level, because your work ethic is something that a lot of people don't have. That dedication every day, girl.
Thank you.
I don't have it. I know what my strengths are, and that waking up on the same time every day is, when I stopped working in corporate America, I left it. I just left that right there on the bank of the river and walked away. Like, I'm not waking up every morning at the same time. I'm gonna sleep in some mornings. Hell, I'm gonna sleep in all morning one morning. Like, that's just how I am. But you have given, and I think as young adults who are coming up who don't know what they want to do, or feel that what they want to do is so far-fetched, their ideas, they can look at you and say, listen, there's no dream that you can accomplish if you are dedicated and consistent, because you wrote the blueprint on that. I'm gonna start next week, probably. I don't know, getting up on time every day, but
no, it's okay. I mean, it's not about getting up on time. It's like, for me, I just wake up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock maybe in the morning. So I'm up. But I'm like an old lady, like about 6 p.m., 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm ready to like lay it on down. I'm not a night person. I'm not up all night because I know I have the show in the morning. But I want to go back to something that you said that I really appreciate. And you talked about the dream. And people talk about what's going on in the world. They talk about this global pandemic. They talk about the racial issues. But I always say, no matter what, we are living in one of the most beautiful times in history to be alive. I remember being a child and my parents would say to me, if I asked them any question, their response, their answer was always go look it up in the Encyclopedia Britannica. So when I raised my kids, they asked me any question. It could be anything. Mom, where is Mississippi? Google. Then you better Google it, you know. So we're not in that space right now where you just dream. It's like if anything that you want to do is somewhere online on the internet where you can research it and somebody has done it before. And most of the things that we want to do are basically free. Like you can podcast for free. You want to be a podcaster? Go to Anchor. Do it for free. You want to do shows, you want to just talk to people, you want to do videos, fine. Do Facebook Lives, do Instagram Lives, there's a million things that you can do. Back in the day, we had to dream about all these things. Technology, the ability to do anything that you want to do is here.
It's here at our fingertips. And I love the fact that, because it's like, I had to explain to my kids what a fax was the other day. And how the Dewey Decimal System and all that other stuff, and they looked at me like, "What is these words that you're talking? Like, why you just didn't look it up on your phone?" First of all, let's not talk about how big our phones were, okay? Like, we're not gonna do this. Like, don't embarrass me.
Right. Like, they weren't smartphones; they were rotary phones, and if we messed up by one number, we just had to hang it up, start all over.
These kids today do not understand the missing of one number when you.
Yes.
And and then don't let you not hang up all the way for real.
Yes.
And dial some country and it show up on the bill.
So all these things these kids today don't have to deal with. But I'm like, then what's your excuse? What's your reason? Why can't you start your own business? And that's, you talk about being politically correct with all this racism and, racial issues that are going on. My focus is, okay, you want racial equality? Start your own business. Work for yourself. That's what I keep telling people. And that's what I was raised. My dad has had his own business in California since 1985. Jordan's Rooter and Plumbing. He does HVAC, he does plumbing, he does handyman. So I was always raised with that self-employment, do for self, and that's my focus.
My father was the same. He was a serial entrepreneur as well. And I'm like, listen, when he told me, listen, if you want to clock into somebody, I'm not knocking you, but it's easier to make your own schedule and work when you want to work. Because my dad and I used to have breakfast every morning together. You know what I'm saying? And then on Fridays, we would go to a little restaurant, a little diner, and have coffee. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff, like him being an entrepreneur actually allowed for me to have that relationship. So that actually was a beautiful thing. But you're right. Like if you wanna circumvent and not deal with the stuff that the racism and want to knock somebody's head off in the office, work for yourself. Find your niche and work it. You are gonna encounter some some issues, but not as many because you know what you want to do and you're doing it for yourself. Like,
yes, but see, that's the focus for me though, is generational wealth. So all these conversations on race, I hear you taking down on these monuments. I hear all of that. But what are you doing to create generational wealth for you and your children? Because that's one of the most important things. All these other people, they can pass down the wealth that they stole over the years. Where's our wealth that we pass down? I want my great-grandchildren or my great-great-grandchildren to be able to just think about what they want to study in college, what they want their major to be. I don't want them to have to figure out how they're going to pay for college. I don't want them to be able to take on student loans. So that's my primary focus. And I wish more people of color, more Black people, focus on how we can create wealth. That's why I love that I've seen more groups pop up with the Rebuild Black Wall Street, people focused on Black Wall Street. But if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So a lot of conversations on race I'll have, but then there are other ones I'm like, I got work to do.
Yeah, because some of them aren't even going anywhere.
Yes,
It's just like little stuff. Like you can get past a lot of stuff. You can make a change. So
yes.
that is my biggest thing, and I really like. Oh, please, okay, tell everybody where they can find you. Cause y'all. I want her to tell you. Go ahead, tell everybody where they can find you. Cause go ahead.
You can find me at AskSharifah.com. Yes. If you have questions, ask Sharifah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like she gives you, like, ask her. She'll tell you. If you have a question, you need help finding something, or you need to know what how to market yourself differently, or how to get to a different platform. Ask Sharifah. I
Hmm.
like that though. Like that right there. Just tell them, like, tell them, because it's like you knew what you were doing when you branded yourself, and can't nobody
Yes.
tell you you did. Because, girl,
No, I do that all the time. Even my clients, I'm talking to them. They're like, I didn't even know. I'm like, I know. Ask Sharifah, you
hello,
know, because I've been doing this for 26 years.
that's a long time.
A long time. The grays in my head prove it. You can't see them, but they there.
Mm-mm. I'm hiding mine. I'm like, oh no. I found a patch the other day. I was like, no, ma'am, no, not yet, not yet. That's a long time, but that means you're very well invested, and this is your calling. And
Yes.
you're like, okay, I'm here to work today. And I was telling you after this, I'm gonna go take a nap. You're like, well, I have this, and then I'm done. I'm like, oh, I'm
I
still gonna
can't
take a
do that
nap.
nap yet,
And
but
I
I'm
really,
waiting.
yes, and that's what I'm saying. You about your day, because I have a friend that goes to sleep with the sun. She's like,
Hmm.
oh, the sun going down. Good night. I'm like, wait, girl, there's other stuff. The sun is going down. I'm going to bed. I'm like,
I'm with her.
yeah,
I am with her though. I need my rest. I need my beauty sleep. I can't just wake
okay.
up like this. I need to rest.
See, no, I'm going to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and waking up late
Mm.
because I'm a night owl sometimes. So I stay up and I work, but I need to. No, I'm just gonna keep doing the way I do stuff. I'm just gonna
Work,
sleep more.
find what works best for you. That's what I
Hmm.
always tell people, not just in the hours, but sometimes people have to have their coffee or their sandwich, or they have to only work in their bedroom and they can't work in their, whatever you find that helps you work, as long as it's healthy and as long as it's not harming anybody. Find what works for you and then work it. That's the thing. You have so many people who will tell you, oh, well, you know what? I don't get any work done because I can't work all day. I'm used to being up at night. I'm like, okay, well, did you get some work done at night? No, because it's nighttime. And then I'm like, you know what? Like 25 years ago, I would have believed the excuses. Now I'm like, okay, all right, well, go talk to that person or go work with somebody else, because I try to take away all the excuses. If you want to be successful,
Yep.
you will be successful. Period. You, with my kids will tell you, the one thing I've always told them, if you don't remember anything else, is remember this: where there's a will, there's
There's
a
a
way.
way. And people need to understand. And I really do appreciate that. I mean, thank you. I want to tell you, thank you so much for talking to me. I know we're gonna be reconnecting. Oh, I'm gonna be on your show again, a couple shows,
Absolutely.
all the time.
Absolutely.
But I love
Absolutely.
because I was like thinking maybe, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see what dates are available because I like being on the panel because you put together some bomb panels, I must
Thank
say.
you.
And I
Thank
see a
you.
lot of people who don't understand the difference in when having quantity over quality. You have quality
Yes.
because you bring substance, and you just don't have just any old body. You
Yes.
have people of substance, and I appreciate that. So, y'all better go to AskSharifah.com, okay? And y'all will find links to how to get your one-on-ones. You have links to the panel, the work she's done. You can also buy her book.
Yes.
I would say if you don't feel you should clock in, get her book. It'll help
Yes.
you where you need to go. But thank you so much, Sharifah. We definitely be talking soon.
You're welcome. Thank
And
you for the opportunity.
you welcome. And well, I'm signing off, and we'll definitely get together. So see y'all later. See you later. Bye.